All right, good. Ready? What's up? It's PATx. This is another episode of PSYCHii. Let me make sure we're rolling. Yes, we are rolling and everything. I am here with a special guest, a musician, a beat maker, singer, songwriter, and my bro A.R Shad. We're gonna get into this after the intro.
You had sent me that text, yeah. Said you finally got an ex, yeah. You say all they do is stress, yeah. But I be there to digress, yeah. Get your mind off the pressure, I'm gonna do you better. I can get you wetter, I can get you saying my name and spelling the letters. Have you saying A.R. LMF on a regular. Girl, now you begging and I'm feeling pleased, so don't you retreat.
Alright, we're back with another episode of PSYCHii. Once again, I am PATx. I am here with A.R Shad. Before we get into this conversation for today, first thing I'm gonna do is slide your mic a little closer. First things first, we are drinking a white tea today. What was it? It was white chocolate peppermint.
Yeah.
Shad picked this out because Shad doesn't really fuck with tea. And this is about to be his first sip. I'm excited to get his reaction because I don't think he's gonna like it. Because I don't necessarily like his choice too much. But yeah, so let's first and foremost, let's get your reaction to this tea. My dread just fell in mine, but go for it. And as you're doing that, there might be a little bit of delay because I think he's scared to burn himself.
First off, you gotta give a shout out to Hogwarts for the cup. You know what I mean? They see me at my wizardry level with these rhymes and beats, so they feel like I may be a good fit for Slytherin. But I saw some baddies in Hufflepuff. So, who knows? All right, man. First taste.
That ASMR.
I need some more. It tastes all right.
Okay, so while you're tasting this, let me go ahead and kind of get your gears going with this question. In the event, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, in the event that you had this ultimatum between being stuck in the middle of the ocean and stuck in the middle of space, which one would you go for and why? First thoughts, and then I'll add some more details.
Our ultimatum being stuck between, being stuck in the middle of the ocean
in the middle of space.
In the middle of space.
Which one?
Am I well equipped?
First thoughts, and then the plot's gonna thicken. I'm gonna give you those details after.
All right, I'm gonna say space because off rip, you need energy in the water unless you just let your body be, and then you're just stuck. So I'd rather be in space.
Okay. Plot thickens. You have an item of like levitation or whatever. So in the ocean, it'd be like a rafter. Let's do a wooden rafter or something. I don't really fuck with the inflatable because that's bound to burst. So you got like a wooden sturdy rafter. And then in space, you got whatever. I don't know. The equivalent. Which one?
Huh?
You have an item now, so you're not just in the middle of the ocean, just your body. Now you have like a thingy that you're floating on, and in space you have the equivalent of whatever that thing would be in space.
I'm trying to see what would be the equivalent. I mean, you in space, you're already floating,
right?
So
maybe you have like the little, maybe you have a suit, and the suit has the little thingies that you press to make you go in whatever direction you want to.
I guess, yeah, man. I just take the suit, man. Whatever way that can help me maneuver through space.
Okay,
that'll work. This tea is
yeah,
tastes like hot water with a minty, slightly chocolate taste.
That's exactly what it is. I'm glad that you didn't like shit on it. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't shit on it because I wanted to see like how you would verbally shit on it. But I think I'm more glad that you like it.
I mean, I can give you an example. More than likely, if I didn't like this, I'd be like, "Hey, man, it tastes like shit. And I'm finna go make something else more appealing, like some cran pineapple juice or some shit.
And I'd be kind of hurt. We should have got the raspberry. I feel like you would have liked anything
I think you should
herbal
have got the other one too, so I could try both.
Hibiscus, yeah.
Instead of just going with what I had, because knowing that I don't even drink tea.
But in my mind, I was like, okay, he's probably not going to like this box, so let's just do this one so I could probably flush it and it wouldn't just be sitting in the back of your cabinet or you wouldn't throw it away.
I didn't even know it was, I don't even know how it worked because I didn't watch you unbox it, but I know when I opened the box, I saw one big old, can we cuss on this?
Yeah.
I saw one big ass packet. And I was like, I thought it was like 20. Yeah.
It's like bags in a bag. So each like thing is like 2 packets. Like together.
It's all right. It really tastes like water.
Or I put a little splash of milk in it. The almond milk. So if we had like regular milk, it would have helped the flavor like a little bit. You know what I mean? Because almond milk doesn't really have like that much of a taste to it since it's not vanilla. It's just the original. But
which one you use? The original?
The original, yeah.
Because I got the vanilla in there too.
Oh, see, I would have put that in there. That would have helped a little bit as far as like the flavor. It wouldn't taste it as watery.
Yeah, I got the vanilla.
But anyway, so going back to this ocean thing, my biggest thing personally, I would choose space. Of course, like the ocean, the likelihood of you being like saved is still like super low, I guess, but it's higher than if you were in space. But I just can't even like fathom the fact that like there's big ass things up under me and like majority of them could kill me and I can't see it.
Yeah, that's my point for wanting to be in space. I don't want to be in an ocean where it's other creatures, knowing I know it's other creatures there that more than likely are gonna want to pull me down or try to eat me.
Right.
But what do we know about space?
This is true.
So that's just, I leave that up to chance with the unknown versus what I do know slightly. Right. Majority unknown.
I also feel like the space. I also feel like space is like relatively calm and quiet versus like the ocean, bro. Like it's not gonna be still water the whole time you out there. There's gonna be big ass storms and high ass waves, whales jumping from one wave to another,
dolphins slapping you.
Yeah, all types of nah, bro. Put me in space.
Yeah, I'd rather conversate with an alien about my survival than trying to communicate with a tortoise.
And if I get tired, you could just end it in space. Like it's your call. You know what I mean? Like how you gonna finish yourself in the ocean that doesn't suck?
Then if you die, the death in the ocean, that's gonna be real savage because it's gonna either be about a creature or you just gonna be stupid and drown.
Right.
So
regardless, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
I assume if you take that mask off in space,
yeah, just let me suffocate for a little bit and go cold. Yeah, just let my body go cold.
And you're right. There might like even if you do see something, we're not alone in space. But whatever you see out there, it's just gonna be kind of hard. You might be like one of the only people that have seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might
Hella
be cool.
People done got ate by
I think
sharks.
that'd be a cool death to die by an unknown creature in space.
It's like, you know what, you scary, but I just confirmed that
I feel honored that you would come kill me before anyone else on my planet.
Right. But then the way you die might be kind of crazy.
Nah, I wanted to instill fear in those that have the thoughts of coming into space and trying something stupid.
But if it's like aliens, how we're used to seeing like on TV and stuff, they might be like experimenting on you, have you like to the table and like doing all types of wild shit. It's like, damn, y'all niggas still feel pain? Like we passed that. We been figured that out.
I just want to see the mindset of an alien. Like, are they farther? Are they more evolved mindset wise to us, or are we superior to some or whoever we discover first?
Right, like who's more intelligent? That's a good point. I feel like everybody thinks of aliens as like super intelligent and stuff, and they might just be like organisms or like a different type of animal. You know? They might not have like a conscience or like the ability to like rationalize like humans.
Yeah. Because I think you look at a lot of movies and so they always make them superior with the abilities and all that kind of stuff. But they might just be
able to survive and like without oxygen. You know what I mean? It might just be that simple. Yeah. Word. That's interesting. So do you think, what's your like not worldview because it's bigger than that, but what do you think? Like, what do you think the Big Bang is? Do you think there's multi universes? You think there's aliens, different species on different planets? Like how?
I never really thought about it. I would like to say, yeah, I like to think of it as, if possible, you know how we have our galaxy and they got these black holes and stuff, and they claim, you know, if you go through a black hole, you're gonna die and everything like that. But what if that's just a portal? What if that's just some way to get lost on the other side, so into another dimension of some sort? So I think that's a possibility. It's other universes and dimensions out there that we don't know about, versus it just being like us, one side of it.
Right.
It's way more.
Do you think we'll ever like solidify contact with something else like within our lifetime?
I doubt it. I don't think that's gonna be for maybe a million years now, because you look how much we think we're gonna progress. You know, they say 100 years from now we're gonna be having flying cars and all that kind of stuff, and none of that has happened yet. Slightly getting close to it. You got like hoverboards and things of that nature that doesn't have any contact with the surface, but can sustain that flight or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we moving slower than what do you call it, innovators or inventors.
Do you think that's a result of like technological advance or just like a supply and demand thing? Do you think like we could have flying cars if we wanted to, but it's just like do we really want to like change how traffic happens? You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be.
That's a good point. I think about that all the time when I see like I play a lot of video games, so when I see the futuristic worlds, I think about how could that be converted into our day-to-day lives. And I think that would be too much. It's a big conversion. Then you got to think about the people that can't afford to get the new flying cars and everything like that. So the world in itself would have to fully advance and get rid of what's current in order for that to work.
And there's so many like moving parts, even with the electric cars. You know what I mean? Like some people probably thought that was gonna take off and everybody's gonna convert to electric cars. Now it's like electric car in South Carolina isn't the move versus like LA. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more popular because the stations are everywhere. So like if we had flying cars, like you said, like what type of like economic status would you have to be to get a car that flies? Like what would the traffic lights be like? Is there a different type of insurance? Because them motherfuckers probably hit birds like a lot, you know, or whatever the case may be. So I feel like that's a big like shift in how things go if we were to do that. I think we're definitely capable. Somebody out there has a flying car.
I think they got a flying car. I think I seen something like that.
This is growing on me.
I may be lying. Yeah, it's not that bad, but
I'm gonna tell you now, though, as soon as it's not hot no more, that shit gonna be disgusting.
I mean, I'm ready for it kind of not to be. I mean, when I drink like hot chocolate, I wait for it to get mildly warm, but still pretty hot, and then I just consume it until I feel all the heat inside of my belly.
Inhale it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes me feel like a dragon.
You know what? I was looking at you crazy before you said that, and then like I totally like understood and applaud you for that, which I feel like normally someone would be like, okay, and then you say that and they would think that you're weird. But I think it's the opposite for me. Like I connected with you because I was like, dang, yeah,
I'm pretty sure that.
Liam told me, you know, whenever you like have your hand out of the window and you're just feeling like the force of like the wind or whatever, everybody does that. But Liam was like, yeah, I do it because I like to pretend like it's the force from like a Kamehameha or some shit like that. And I was like, you know what? That's cool as fuck, Liam. I respect that. He was like, yeah, it just feels like some like energy or like something like that. I was like, that's kind of hard. And so I started doing it. I was like, yo, that's tight.
When I do it, I like to do my hands straight and then do
and just try to be like
stuff.
as aerodynamic as possible. That's what I used to
I like
do.
to feel the airflow between my fingers and the forcing my hand downwards, and then the more resistance of going up and then going back down real easy.
Right, and then it kind of like jerks your hand into being like aerodynamic again.
Yeah, I like that. This is this is good whenever you sip a good bunch of it instead of with the spoon.
But I was just doing the spoon because it was kind of like hot at the time. But you should be able to just like drink it now.
Still hot.
Mine been cooled off a bit. Yoda's blitz.
You look a little fried, man. He having a good time. Yeah, this is for those guys that like to intake
He started that sentence before he figured out where you were going.
As I always do. My mind works faster than my mouth does.
For sure.
I mean, my mouth works faster than my mind does. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I got you.
Nah, my mind overworks, so it's too much.
Your mind works faster than your mouth. Well, either way, that could still be the same outcome.
Yeah, because my mind does too much. So by the time I actually try to say something, it's too much going on in my brain, and then it's like an overload.
Right.
So it's hard for me to.
Some people might start talking before they even think about it. And just be rambling. But it sounds the same regardless.
Yeah. I be knowing what I want to say. I just don't know how to say it in the right way. Or I say a whole bunch of other things that I wanted to say too. But I try to say it at the same time.
Like Kanye.
I don't know. That's a different breed.
Kanye is super interesting just to like listen to. Regardless of like how you feel about him or if you think he's like logical or like whatever. Just like literally listening to him is very interesting. It's draining for me after a little bit just because it's a lot.
I just be disappointed. Like that's my guy. It's like I don't idolize anybody, but I got a mad respect for a lot of artists in the game. And him being one of the first ones. So, you know, whenever he goes on his rants and stuff, I'm just like,
yeah.
Damn.
But you can tell he's still like intelligent because like he'll be wilding, but sometimes he'll say things that are still like profound. You know what I mean? And like you said, he's just different.
I just think it's an understanding thing.
Yeah.
I think you got to be on his level and know his experiences to understand where he coming from with certain stuff. And, you know, everybody ain't right with everything that they say. So some of the stuff, of course, he may be wrong. But what do we know unless we actually go and do what he going to do?
One of my favorite quotes is, "The medium is the message." And so I feel like there's probably I feel like somebody else could have the same exact like beliefs as Kanye, say it differently, and then people would like perceive it differently. You know what I mean? Like how I talk to you, if I wanted to tell you like somebody like slipped and fell and like busted their ass outside, I'd probably say it like that. But that's not the same way I deliver that message to like my mom or like, you know what I mean, a pastor or like, you know what I mean? So like I always think that quote's like super interesting. The way you say things is just as important as.
You got some more of this in the pot?
What you're trying to say?
That's it? This all of it?
That's a serving that I made. That's not the whole box. There's other like things in there. We use 6 of them though.
You made? How long are these podcasts?
Like 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes.
I wish it was an hour.
Why'd you say it like that? And then you looked at me kind of, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about it. But yeah, I like to kind of keep it compact. You know what I mean? There's people that do it for like an hour or 2 hours, and those are good to consume too. But like 20 minutes, you could drive somewhere in 20. You know what I mean? You could listen to one episode on your way to whatever. Yeah. And not have to be on a long drive to listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this though. This ain't bad, man. This is pretty chill.
I'm happy. I'm really happy about that because I was not optimistic about that whatsoever. The whole time I was like, damn.
Yeah, I know I was pretty negative before this, and I apologize. It's okay. But yeah, this calmed me down. So,
that's what's up. We'll try it with like straight milk. So instead of like boiling the water, I think we'll just do warm milk instead of tea in there, or maybe do like a small amount of water so that we can at least like steep the tea and then fill the majority of it with
I'm with
milk.
it, man. I'm with it. Yeah.
We got options.
I like this though. Yeah, that's cool. I think someone cast a spell on this.
Should have got like a little cinnamon or something. That'd probably been nice.
Put some sugar in this too.
Where was we at? Okay, so we went with the whole ocean thing. We talked about Ye a little bit. Let's do this. Because you're an artist, I don't want to like make this an interview about your artistry, but we can't go without not mentioning it. So what's like obviously, like whenever you're doing something that's like apart from the crowd, right? Naturally, you're gonna kind of like separate yourself from people. You know what I mean? You're gonna isolate yourself because you've decided to do something that's outside of the norm, so to say. And that's with artistry. That's with anything that you're trying to pursue, roughly speaking. That being said, does that get and I can probably like answer this because I know you, but for people watching, do people kind of like take that out of context and like make assumptions or like misunderstand like you in terms of that, like you being like standoffish and like isolated? Do you think you come across as like an asshole sometimes or like uninterested? You know what I mean? Do people get misconceptions about you based off of that?
I don't really hear negative comments as much as I used to, like growing up and going through high school when I first started creating music. I would always keep to myself for specific reasons, just trust issues and not really vibing with what everybody else had going on. I would keep to myself just to stay out of trouble and things of that nature. And so yeah, I hear the comments from more females that would deal with me. They always be like, "Oh, you really cool." At first when I saw you or whatever, thought you was better than everyone else. Comments like that. Yeah. And it's like, nah, I just keep my distance for specific reasons. But if you cool and we vibe, then yeah, I'll be cool and everything like that.
Yeah. Do you find yourself not vibing more so than vibing with people?
It depends. Nowadays, I can find where I'm good at because I have my choices or where I want to be at. Versus back then when I was in school, I had to be certain places. Right. But like now, doing what I do, the people that I am cool with, like they'll go out and they'll party, have fun, do their get-togethers at the crib and stuff. And most of the time they won't invite me because they know that's not my style. I don't like to be around a lot of people. Right. I'm a introvert, so I keep to myself. If I be around a lot of people and for a long time, or like anybody, if I'm around anybody for a long time, then I start to like shell up. Yeah, it's draining. I start to get aggravated really quick, things of that nature. So they don't, like, the invites don't even come to me. So and sometimes I feel left out because of it. I'm like, dang, well, y'all could at least say something, let me tell you no, versus assuming I'm gonna just say no, stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is now. I'd rather just use my free time to put in work, whatever. But sometimes you need a little break
for sure. And even we had that conversation, I think like maybe 2 years ago. We text each other. I was like, bro, when's the last time we like messaged each other that wasn't like about music? You know what I mean? Or I think about it all the time. And we talk on the reg, but it's like, at what point in the 5 times we've talked to each other in the last month did we say like, bro, like, how you doing? You know what I mean? Are you straight or whatever the case may be? And we've gotten a fuck ton better with that. Even I'm in Washington with Shy right now, and I've been here for a couple days. And out of all those days, you know what I mean, the music has been like a small part of that. And we've just been like enjoying each other. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean, just like hanging out and being boys, and still being productive. You know what I mean. So it's always nice to have that kind of healthy balance.
Trying to, at least.
Right.
Trying to be productive.
For sure. All right, my guy. So we went from ocean to space to Ye to aliens to confirmation that Shad, maybe I took Shad's tea virginity. Well, I mean, he's tried tea before, but maybe like that one was like painful and unenjoyable, and now he's like starting to kind of like enjoy it, and he'll go on to have a hoe phase with this tea. Not the best analogy, but it was on the spot. And yeah. So yeah, this was another episode of PSYCHii. I'm gonna give Shad the floor to say his piece. You know, if you want to plug, if you want to do a shameless promotion, now is the time.
All
right. We'll see y'all next time.